press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, how are you all? Hope you people are doing good. Yes. So last class we had studied about law, right? Yes. So we had studied about parliament, right? So why parliament is necessary, how parliament makes laws, right? So apart from that, so that was the earlier unit. After that we had studied about understanding the laws, right? Why law is important, how laws are made, how the new laws comes into existence, how these new law will gain importance, and how people will get to know, or probably like how these laws will be brought into existence. Why is that? Why, how, or why parliament feels that yes, so and so law has to come into existence. So we had discussed about all these things. Hope you people remember that, right? What is law? Who makes it? Yes, so we have already discussed about this. Law is made by the parliament, right? When it comes to India, we have parliamentary form of government wherein the laws, new laws are made by the parliament. So how the new law comes into existence? It comes into existence with people itself, through people itself, right? It actually gets to know that whenever it gets to know, or it feels that yes, there has to be certain new laws so that there won't be any problem. So to see, many a times it so happens that we do not have laws, okay, we do not have certain laws so that it can be applied on any of the crimes here. Imagine, so people or some person does that crime. So how to regulate it? How to handle it? Who will be held responsible for that? Right? When you think all those things, you get to know that yes, it is law which is very much important, and thus laws will be made, and parliament sees to that yes, whatever law they are making, it has to reach the people. So whosoever is in need, so for them laws are made, so that the needy people can use or make use of such laws, right? Okay, so now no doubt laws are made, okay. This parliament does the laws, or they make the laws. Now executive, as you all know, it executes the laws. Now what's the next step? Yes, have you ever heard about anything that interprets the laws? Okay, let us keep it aside for a while. Imagine you fight in the class, okay, huge fight. You did fight like anything, okay. To whom do you go then? Definitely it would be your CR, right? You go to your class representative, you tell him or her what has happened in the class, what he did or she did to you, and the discussion will happen there, right? So what the CR does, she tries to solve it. She, or say he, whosoever is the CR, so they try to solve it and they give certain decision there. You are not happy, you are not at all happy. So now what next? You try to find out some other person, right? You tell your CR, no, whatever you have solved or whatever you have said, we are not happy with this, so let us go to our class teacher. You go to your class teacher, you tell him or say her, saying that madam or sir, so and so thing has happened and we want some solution. Now your class teacher gives some solution. You are not happy even with that, okay, or probably you may agree because class teacher, right, the class teacher is having much more importance, so probably you might feel that okay, this is a kind of good thing and all, you may accept. But imagine you did not feel happy, you are not happy with whatever solution they have said. Now what do? You get your parents, you go to the HM. Now HM hears both the sides, right, and she gives certain decision there. Probably the decision given by your HM is totally like satisfactory. You people might agree with that. One thing, she is your HM. The second thing, maybe she has out of much more experience. I'm not telling anything about class teacher here, okay? Don't take it the other way, or don't go against your class teacher for that matter. I'm just telling that maybe you're not happy with whatever decision given by your class teacher. So what you do? You go to the other person, right? HM. Now HM, whatever decision she has given, maybe you like it, you accept it, you follow it. Okay, so this is what it happens. Okay, so this is regarding you people, or say the class. Imagine the same thing happens in the society now. One person kills the other person. Who takes that person? You keep telling, right? Police, this person, CBI, that, everything. You know much more things compared to me, right? Yes. So you will be knowing, you would say, yes, ma'am, the police comes and carries away that murderer, and later what? Have you ever thought what happens then? Yes. Will the complaint be taken, or will they carry him without any warrant? What is warrant? What is a complaint? And yes, if they are taking, later what? Yes, no doubt now the complaint has been raised. Okay, now if they are taking that particular person, then what? Who punishes him? Where will that person be punished? Have you ever thought about this? Have you ever felt that yes, I have to think about this? What happens then? What is actually where this person is taken? How is he treated? Whether he becomes very important there? Definitely he becomes important, because he has done some crime wherein punishing him is very important. Right? Punishing him is very important because he has done some crime, and whole society is worried. Right? One person does something and the whole society gets worried, saying that such crimes are happening here. This is one thing. Okay, the other thing, okay, like when it comes to the other meaning, or say the other way, let's take. Now imagine, okay, imagine that you have or say you have some property with you. Okay, you have got some property. Let's take agricultural field, or even some property, maybe a house. Okay, you have that, and you want your uncle or aunt, they are also having some property. So you people decide you want to sell your property to some person there. Now you have asked one broker to check for some person who can purchase the plot, or say some property, whatever you have. The broker checks for one of the person, and he gives all the details about that particular person, etc. Okay, now the broker, you believe the broker, because broker is the one who creates a bridge between the buyer and the seller, right? So now you totally have to believe the broker, and you tell you give all the details about the property and all. You tell what has what is there with you and all. Now some person called X, okay, he wants to purchase that plot. He wants to purchase that plot. He goes, he meets that broker. He gives all the details, saying that yes, I want to purchase, I'll be paying so and so, this is how I'll be paying the installment, every details he gives. Now while such thing is happening, okay, so such things, it does happen, right? So when such thing is happening, imagine now the broker, what he does, he fails to take certain details, but he tells everything, like whatever the person has said, that will be conveyed to you. Now the broker plays game there. He does a fraud. Okay, he does a fraud. He sells the property for almost 10 to 20 lakhs, but for you he gives the details saying that no, the property was sold around 8 lakhs and this is what the amount is, and he gives you the amount. Will you accept it? Will you accept? Will you just keep the money? Will you not ask? And imagine you get to know that yes, he has done a fraud. Then what will you do? What punishment that particular person can be given? Have you ever thought about how people used to solve their problem when there was nothing called court? Have you ever thought what actually is court? Many a times they see, now imagine he did a fraud with you, right? And you asked him, how dare you do such fraud? How can you do this? You ask him for the whole amount. He tells you, you better talk in the court of law. I have not done any fraud. I'll prove there. You come and talk. Now, what is court? Why this word court has come into existence? Why and how our courts are working? Why do we need any court at all? Have you ever thought about this? Like, why do we need court? What is the importance of court? Is it necessary? If at all we did not have courts, how would we work? Have you ever thought? So today, let us make some time, okay, to know about the functioning of the court, okay, to know about how it works, what is the importance of this particular thing, that is judiciary. What is the role of judiciary? What is actually the judiciary? How the courts work here? History of court, I'll be taking it in a brief manner. Okay, so history of courts. So how the court works? Why these courts have come into existence? Before courts, what were there? All those things let us know today. Okay, so imagine, you might have heard about villages, right? Sarpanch, what we call. You have studied this, I guess, maybe 6th or 5th, you have studied all those things. Sarpanch, village Sarpanch. So who is that Sarpanch? What he has to do? Yes, have you ever known about that particular person, what that person does? Yes, any person in the village, if at all they would feel that yes, we are going through some problem, or rather say we have certain problems here to be solved, where they would go? Definitely they would go to the Sarpanch itself, right? Yes, the Sarpanch would solve all these things. They would have this panchayat, right? Panchayati. So there they would sit, they would discuss, they would come up with a solution. Why then court has come into existence? So let us know about history. So when it comes to court, it is nothing but what is this court? What actually is court? See, it is a place, okay, it is a place wherein a body of people presided by a judge. Okay, it is a place. It is place, definitely a place wherein a body of certain people, okay, few people can be seen there. So those people will be seen wherein they are presided over by the judge or say magistrate, and acting as a tribunal in civil and criminal cases. So the person will take the matter here, nothing but in the court the judge will be giving judgment here, the judge will be deciding over, or they will be giving the decisions here. So court is a place, okay, it is a body of people, okay, it is a body of people wherein they decide, okay, they decide about the things here. So they decide the things here, they hear whatever the person whosoever has approached the court saying that we need certain justice, we need a certain solution for this, we need justice, okay, the court has to decide, right? So when they want justice, definitely it would be the court which will be deciding the thing. So what actually is court? It is the body of people wherein the judge will be presiding. Okay, nothing but the whole group of people will be presided over by the judge. The judge will be taking care of the group of people, so he will be handling those group of people. So now when it comes to judiciary or say court, judge is the person. Judge is the person who punishes the people who have done wrong. So now, under what authority he will be doing that? Why will he be doing that? See, our judiciary is an independent one. Always remember, judiciary is independent. No person can poke its nose, okay? Because there are certain conditions which I'll be dealing later. Before starting this, why law is so important? Why we have to maintain law? Why law and order has to be followed? Imagine if there was no law at all, what would happen in the country? The country would not work, or say they would never follow any of the law and order. They would never feel that yes, law and order is important. No importance would have been given to the law. So that's the reason law and order is very, very important, and it has to be always upholded. Okay, law and order has to be upholded. So do we need any judiciary then? Yes. See what happens? The parliament does the laws here, right? The parliament gives you the laws here, and when these laws have been given, it is the executive which executes the laws. So all the laws that has come into existence, so those will be executed by the executive, and whatever laws have come into existence, who interprets it? It will be interpreted by the judiciary itself. So judiciary interprets the law here, and judiciary is the main person here. The reason is because they are the one who explain you the law, how it is applicable, in what way it has to be applied, how it has to be read, how it has to be taken. Everything will be explained under judiciary itself. How this court system came into existence then? No doubt earlier we did not have this court system. Okay, we never had any court system here. So how did this court system come into existence then? So see what happened. Earlier we had something called as mayor's court. Okay, we had something called as mayor's court. So what happened? As India is like having this independent judiciary, no doubt it is having an independent judiciary, and the concept of justice was linked with religion. Okay, the concept of justice was always linked with religion. Okay, and see, most of the kings followed this dharma. So you know this, right? You have come across many of the stories related to the kings, right? So one is what I can say, a king can do no wrong. So this was the concept there. So whatever king would say, that would be accepted. And even till day, monarchical system in UK and all, they still had this statement, that is, a king can do no wrong. So kings always followed, okay, they always followed this dharma. So on the basis of dharma itself, they would decide, they would give the decision there, and they would say that who is correct and who is wrong. So what happened? They gave a statement too, that is, a king can do no wrong. So this was the very earlier, like during the kings and queens era in our nation. So this was the thing. So they would feel that a king can do no wrong. So whatever king would say, that would be accepted as a final order itself. Okay, they never used to question, or they never used to go against whatever the king has given. Whatever the king's statement has been given, they never used to go against that. Now, later on came the mayor's court. Okay, this was set up by British India. So you know very well, we were ruled by Britishers, right? So Britishers took almost 200 years. They did rule us for almost 200 years. So when this had happened, what did they do? They brought, see, we have been following Britishes itself. Most of the thing we have accepted from them. So court is not an exception. So court also has been, we have accepted court system also from British itself. So again, when it comes to this, with the Royal Charter, that is 1661, the governor, okay, under the governor in council of each presidency, that is in Madras and Surat, what did they do? They brought this mayor's court. Okay, so here again, whatever, any criminal, any crime would happen, then the criminal would get punished. And yes, these mayor's court had all the importance there. Okay, most of the people, they gave importance to this mayor's court. So the governor and council decided they should have 2 sittings per week to hear and judge all the cases. So whatever cases they would get, they would hear it. So twice in a week they would sit and they would decide about a case there. So what happened? Later on, the company, okay, like nothing but East India Company, they established a municipality. So the mayor and aldermen were recognized as a court of record. So few of the courts were, mayor courts were taken as court of record. So Britishers, see, mayor court also was brought by British itself, British India, and what did they do? They even did come up with some other record, court of record they did come up with, so that the recording, nothing but if at all they have to record any of the criminals statement and all, they would do there. So later on, with see, these things were going very well. Later on, what did they feel that yes, we have to set up Supreme Court. So there were 3 Supreme earlier, okay, it's not about today. Today we have only 1 Supreme Court. So they did establish 3 Supreme Court, that too in Madras, Calcutta and Mumbai. So these were the 3 places wherein the mayor's court were replaced by this Supreme Court, okay. And yes, there were again King's Court and all, that is different. So this there were so many conflicts between the executive and the legislative, but even then the Governor General would take care of all these things. Next came the Mofussil Adalats. Okay, Mofussil Adalats. It means rural, that is places away from company's presidency. Your East India Company, you have East India Company, right? So something away from these East India Company, they did set up certain Mofussil Adalats. So the Adalat were taken care by most of the head of the village, or say most of the people who have knowledge regarding law or who can solve the problems, etc. So this is how the things started coming into existence. Then came Sadar Divani Adalat. Okay, so they came up with Sadar Divani Adalat. So there were so all those things, they followed the England rules and regulations there. So at the taluka or say tehsil level, they came up with Darogi Adalat. Okay, so these kind of things started coming into existence. So that is for the criminal judiciary, they came up with Daroga, okay, Daroga Adalat. Okay, they came up with these Adalat, and then came the establishment of High Court. So they felt that yes, each state should have got this High Courts. Okay, because it goes very difficult sometimes, right? Only solving one or the other problem. See what happens, disputes as and when the urbanization started, or say the expansion of civilization started, definitely there were many of the cases that were supposed to be solved, and that's the reason they felt that yes, we have to come up with High Courts, and they did set up High Courts. Then, so if they did choose few of the places just for the setting of High Courts. Then Indian High Courts Act 1861 came into existence, so that people do follow those act. Okay. Then came the Federal Court and Supreme Court of India. So Federal Court and even Supreme Court of India came into existence. So this is how the court system came into existence. So with the guidance of A.K. Iyer, Santanam, M.A. Iyengar, Tej Bahadur Sapru, B.N. Rao, K.M. Munshi, Sadullah and B.R. Ambedkar they have played important role in shaping the judicial system in India. See, judiciary is not at all easy. Okay, it was not at all easy. The thing is, see what happens in a democratic nation when it comes to democracy or say democratic form of government, establishing these kind of courts become very much necessary. Establishment of these kind of courts are given very much importance. So all laws are applicable. See, most of the democratic nation, they follow this rule of law. What is this rule of law? We have already studied this. Okay, so rule of law is very important, right? So when it comes to rule of law, it is nothing but law is applicable to each and every person, whether that person is a king or say the slave. Does not matter. So whosoever it is, we apply we see that the laws are applicable to each and every person. So yes, now the laws are applicable, no doubt. We do apply the laws. We see that laws are applicable, and we do punish the person whosoever has done the wrongful act. So any person who violates the right, right of another person. There are so many fundamental rights, right? We have 6 fundamental rights, which is again subdivided. That is all different. But yes, so when it comes to this, so what they say is court will take care of that. Court will see that no person's right is violated here. No person should go without getting any justice. Have you ever come across any such a case wherein you did not find any of the solution? Have you ever felt that court is going against any of the rules and the regulation? Have you ever felt that court was not being justifiable when they gave the judgment here? If you know any such cases, please let me know. Okay, so you just go through. You might have even heard stories about within your family or maybe friends and all. You might have heard few stories, right? For example, I'll tell you, most of the people, they do not depend upon court. Okay, this is the fact. Especially the village people or say poor people, they never believe, they never depend upon the court. The reason is they feel that court never gives any right judgment, but this is truly wrong. Court has come into existence to give justice itself, but only problem is court needs evidences. If there are no evidence, if there are lack of evidence, then definitely court would be tied. Though it would be knowing what exactly is happening, its hands will be tied and it won't be able to do any of the things there. It won't be able to do any of the thing, and they will be deciding, just seeing the evidence itself, they'll be deciding the things. So now when it comes to the court, okay, when it comes to the court, see, it is an organ. Okay, it is an organ. Judiciary is an organ, and it plays a very important, actually very important role. Okay, it plays a very important role here, because when I say, see, imagine violation of law. Can any person violate the law? No, right? No person has got any right to violate the law. But even then, if a person violates the law, violates any of the fundamental right of another person, will the court leave or deny giving any justice there? No, it should not do that, right? Court should not do that. Court has to be it has to justify with whatever decision it has given. So court is the place wherein people do come together and they discuss certain thing and come to the conclusion, right? So when it comes to judiciary, it is a system of court that administers to give justice, to give the justice, to get the justice, to make people get justice. It is the judiciary that plays a very important role. So when it comes to history of courts in brief, you came across certain courts, right? See, mayor court, it was the very first was mayor court and all. Now later on it got changed to Supreme Court. Okay, the mayor court was changed to Supreme Court, that too in the presidency. Then it got most of the high courts there. So these were the few changes that could be seen. So now, why judiciary has to play an important role? Why does it plays any important role? So see, you have heard every day you hear about courts, right? Court has decided so and so thing. Court has given such a decision. Now, for example, Sushant Singh Rajput's case is going on, right? So every now and then you can see court has done this, court has done that, court has given this explanation. It has or it has come up with this solution. You might have heard about these things. Every day you might have read all these things in the newspaper, right? Apart from that you might have come across any of the laws and all, how court has explained it. Okay, it is the court. If at all court feels that any of the law itself has been explained or given in a wrong manner by the parliament, okay, it is the judiciary that would be deciding. It would give a chance to the parliament saying that please do change this because it is violating the laws, or say it is against the constitutional provision. So this is how it plays the role. Now let us know the role of judiciary in detail here. So when it comes to role of judiciary, very first thing is courts take a decision on a very large number of issues. It is not about only one issue or two issue. If you go to courts and all, you get to know that there are so many cases in the court. Okay, I have heard only divorce cases itself are more than 40,000. Divorce case, more than 40,000. That too in Mumbai court. Okay, so imagine that is only one particular case, one style or one kind of case which comes under one category. Divorce. Whatever may be the ground. Okay, whatever may be the ground or whatever may be the reason for the divorce, but they are categorized under one group, or say it is categorized under one thing itself. So for one particular thing they have come across, or we can see so many cases. Imagine every day they come up with so many cases, right? Every day you can see many cases. Today so and so thing has happened, they have fought for so and so thing. All those things you keep hearing, right? Yes. So imagine there are so many cases that has been registered here. So they can see when it comes to these courts, what all they can decide, everything and anything that is related to law. For example, no teacher can beat a student. So these laws had come earlier. Okay, don't take it so easy. Yes, okay. So that was a law. And few court decided about certain things. Maybe it is related to sharing of a river. It has decided the case. Okay, sharing of river, any dispute related to any of the place, the territory of any of the states, etc. So it totally depends upon the court itself. So court will be giving the decision. So recent cases were Sabrimala case. Related to Sabrimala, they did give the decision. Relating to Article 370, they gave the decision. No doubt, it was not decision given by court, but yes. So few people had some problem there, and even they said even regarding to adultery and all, they gave the decision. Okay, apart from that, they have decided about so many things. Court has given so many decisions, right? So there are so many decisions as per given by the court, and every person has accepted it. They have to respect it. Now let us know the role of judiciary. So when it comes to role of judiciary, very first role is dispute resolution. So see, when it comes to dispute resolution, the judicial system, okay, the judiciary or the system itself provides a mechanism for resolving disputes between citizen. Okay, any citizen. So disputes between any citizen. Okay, imagine me and you people are having some problem here. Okay, it's me and you people, we are having some problem. So citizens, we are citizen, right? So to solve our dispute, will be going to the court. So any two citizens, or say two or more citizens, so any of the problem, any of the dispute that has come between the citizens, those will be solved by people. The next is between citizen and the government. Okay, between citizen, then between citizen, okay, and the government. Even apart from this, okay, apart from this, even it solves the citizen and government. It solves the problem that has arrived between the citizen and the government. So any of the citizen who is having problem with the government, even that will be solved by the court. And sometimes between the government itself, okay, between two state government. So if at all there is any problem with two states, okay, state governments, they are ruling, etc., again that will be solved by the court itself. So dispute resolution. So, or say central and the state government, if at all any of the state government and the central government, they are having problem, or say they are having any dispute, then such a dispute will be solved by the court itself. So court is the one that solves the dispute, that gives the solution for the dispute, that decides upon the dispute that has arisen between the citizens, okay, two citizens, two or more citizens, between citizens, whatever it may be, that will be solved between the citizen and the state government. Okay, any of the citizen having problem with a state government, definitely even those cases will be taken by the court and they do solve it. Between, say, state government and the other state government, between state governments, you know very well, with the states they will be having, right, water problem, like they are not ready to give the water, or even sometimes territory, right, the territorial shape. So what they are asking, they need much more place to be left out. Okay, so these things, or sometimes what happen, industrial setup, all those things, one or the other way, state governments will be fighting with themselves. So that then is central government and the state government. Between the central government and the state government, if they are having any of the problem, then those disputes shall be solved, okay, by the judiciary. The second is the judicial review. What is this judicial review? See, as the final interpreter of the constitution, the judiciary has the power to strike down a particular law passed by the parliament if at all it feels that there is a violation of the basic structure of the constitution. See, who makes the laws? The laws are made by the parliament, right? You agree with that, right? So the parliament makes the laws there. So parliament has come up with the laws. It always see that it makes the laws. When such laws have come into existence, okay, when such laws are being made by the like the parliament, imagine those laws are against the constitution. Against constitution is very much important, right? All the articles like they have given, we have to respect it, we have to accept it. Imagine any other law is being made, any other law or act has come into existence which is against the constitution. Okay, whatever in constitution, the provisions, whatever they have said, if at all that law is against the constitution, then definitely such will be taken, see, such will be raised. So the voice will be raised by the court. Court says, they tell the parliament saying that you are violating the basic structure of the constitution. So please, this will be called as judicial review. So any of the thing that has been recognized by the court, Okay, court feels that the law, imagine now, this is an example, imagine some motor vehicles act has come into existence. Okay, compulsory license, you have to have carry your license, all these things they have said, right? So when these things are being said, if at all it is against any of the provision given by the constitution, then such a thing will be reviewed by the court, and they always give, okay, it strikes down, nothing but it asks the parliament to strike down such a law, okay, which is against the constitution, which is going against the provisions of the constitution. Then definitely it would be the court which asks the parliament, saying that, see, you are going against the laws as given, and see that you follow the constitutional law, you follow the provisions given under the constitution, so that it would not be any problem, there would not be any problem. The third is upholding law and enforcing fundamental right. See, fundamental rights are very, very important. Okay, fundamental rights given to the citizen, those are very much important, and if any person violates such fundamental rights, then such person will be liable. Okay, the person will be punished, or say he should compensate for whatever he has done. So the upholding the law, nothing but every citizen of India can approach the Supreme Court whenever his rights are violated under the writ. Either High Court or say Supreme Court it can go. So see, you have studied in your 7th class regarding Hakim Sheikh. Okay, who was a agricultural laborer, and he came under this moving train wherein he got injured, and whose condition got worse because the hospital people, they did not admit him on the at a right time. So article 21, wherein right to life and personal liberty, we say it is violated here, right? Every person has got right. With that, even good environment, okay, to stay in, okay, to breathe, we need good air. To have a wonderful life, we need clean and very tidy environment, right? If those things are not provided by the state, then we can raise voice against the state, saying that the state has not done the work, or they have not followed the law. So upholding law and enforcing fundamental rights. So my fundamental right is right to life and personal liberty. But yes, now if at all I have to uphold the same, then definitely I have to approach the court saying that, yes, my fundamental rights are violated here, because they are not ready to give any clean environment to stay in. Whenever they have said right to life and personal liberty, they should have been very cautious. When that agricultural laborer, he died, okay, he died there. He died because they did not provide him the medication on time. So you have violated my fundamental right. So this is how they can question, under what authority have done this, because you have violated the fundamental right. So the court always upholds the law. It gives importance to law. It always says that law is very much important and you have to follow the same. Rules and regulations are equally important. See that you follow it, and if you fail to follow it, definitely you would be held liable. You would be punishable in nature. So that is all about your judiciary. So this is the basic thing what I did discuss. So when it comes to court is a place wherein it is presided over by the judge. There are a group of people who discuss certain thing, who come there to discuss any of the case or to get justice. So court came into existence with other courts. Mayor courts were the courts which were established, then came the Supreme Court. Now we have only one Supreme Court. So all those things we did discuss. And yes, when it comes to role of judiciary, we did discuss that it is the main role is to solve the dispute, to resolve this dispute. Judicial review, whenever it feels that yes, any law made by the parliament is against the constitutional provision, then definitely it asks, okay, the judiciary asks the parliament to strike down such a law. because parliament, see, we cannot change the constitution. Constitution basic structure we cannot change. That's the reason we can ask the parliament to bring changes in the other laws here. Next is upholding law and enforcing fundamental rights. So fundamental rights, if anybody's fundamental right, okay, see the West Bengal. The West Bengal government was asked to pay certain compensation to the person who lost his, or he who suffered because of their negligence. Okay, the government hospital, who will be held liable? The government will be held liable, because you did neglect, you did not have, you did not show, or you did not make the hospitals work strictly. As the state also has failed, the state will be held liable. So upholding law and enforcing fundamental rights. So this is the basic thing regarding your judiciary. There are further more things which has to be discussed, that is about the court, okay, like court system, how the court has been divided, and why we call the judiciary as an independent one, and even what is the structure of court, and further who all can file the case, okay, whether it is only for one person or two person, or whether it is applicable, or it is helpful for each and every person. So this is all about judiciary. Let me discuss few certain things in the next class. Okay, thank you so much, dear students. Have a great day. Thank you for your patience.